How is it going, my heroes, my villains, and everybody in between? Sean Ross here, and welcome back, guys, to another live reaction to My Hero Academia. We are on manga chapter number 324, entitled A Young Woman's Declaration.
Deku's always been desperate to realize his dream, and it's true that his struggles have inspired me to work harder.
You have made it. You're now part of the Hero Academia.
I'll put these feelings away. I'll focus on working just as hard as he does. And reach my dream!
This title right here is talking about our girl, Ochaco Uraraka, and I am very excited to see what else we will be getting from her as we continue off of the events of last chapter. Because as the mob of people were directing all of their fears and anger onto Deku and trying to drive him out of UA, we had Ochaco come to Deku's defense, and she leapt into action, literally. We saw her leap over the entire crowd while grabbing a hold of President Mike's megaphone, and she floated up to the top of the UA building, and once there, she started to yell down back at the crowd and was asking them to really take a good look at Deku, and hopefully they would realize what Deku has been putting himself through this entire time in order to protect and save everybody.
Do you know what he's doing right now? Risking his life for our sakes! Look at him!
Ochaco right now is taking that first crucial step moving forward, but going into this chapter, I am just excited to see what else Ochaco has to say. So, mount ladies and gentle criminals, without further ado, let's dive right into chapter 324.
Flashback.
When I was growing up, my mom and dad always looked tired. It hurt me to see them so wiped out. That's why the first time I saw a hero on the street, I was more excited about the way bystanders and my parents reacted than anything else. I just loved to see how happy everybody looked.
And on the first page, it looks like we are starting things off with an Ochaco flashback right here. We can see the adorably cute little Ochaco with her parents when they were witnessing a hero saving the day, but instead of watching the hero at work, we have little Ochaco looking around and admiring all of the happy and smiling faces within the crowd. I always loved seeing happy people. My parents always looked so exhausted, which was painful to see. And when I saw heroes in action for the first time, my gaze went straight to the faces in the crowd. And when you look at the faces in the crowd outside of UA, there is not a single smile to be seen because they are scared and worried with everything that is currently transpiring. Behold. And I love this panel shot of seeing Ochaco standing on top of UA, but it really goes to show just how big the new UA barrier actually is in comparison to the crowd down below. Then we just see Deku alone in this panel shot with the rain coming down as the crowd is turning around to look at him.
He's just a kid. No older than my son.
Do you know what he's doing right now? Risking his life for our sakes! Look at him!
He's looking ragged, huh? Kinda weak and worn out. And it looks like the crowd is now really beginning to look at Deku thanks to Ochaco's words. They are no longer viewing him as the threat to push away, but instead as the exhausted high schooler who's just doing everything he possibly can to keep them all safe.
What does the fox say?
Yo, and shoving her way through the crowd, we got our fox lady moving in.
I got something to say!
You what?
This is what I wanted to see from her when she popped up in last chapter. To have her standing up for Deku and telling everybody how Deku saved her. Yes, he's been fighting. He saved me out there, and he's been fighting this whole time.
Oh, good for you!
Oh god, here we go. And now we go over to the All Might fanboy, the guy with the All Might shirt, who turns around and says, "You want us to look at him? So what? Don't tell me that we should be covered in filth too."
No!
No! Heroes are the only ones coated in that filth. So give him a moment's rest to wash away the grime.
Shut
the fuck
Yo,
up.
Ochaco taking no shit from this All Might fanboy right here.
What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
Just look at her yelling into this megaphone, basically telling this guy to sit down and shut the hell up. Because right now, with everything going on, the heroes are going out there risking their lives and getting covered in the filth, so that way all these civilians won't have to. And all they are asking for in return is to have Deku stay at UA, so he can be well rested and take a much needed bath.
Wow.
And as Ochaco is yelling into the megaphone, we can see Kaminari, Kirishima, Ashido, and Sue watching this go down. But look at our man Kirishima right here, clenching his fists and trying to hold back manly tears because you know he is thinking, "You are so manly, Ochaco."
Listen to these guys. They're so manly.
Just seeing this manly moment coming from Ochaco, he is proud to see her sticking up for Deku like this.
Wow,
And
Ochaco.
even Sue is impressed with her as she says, "Wow, Ochaco." And then we got Ida walking up next to Deku. Midoriya, right now, Uraraka is fighting. For you, of course, but for everyone else too.
Yeah!
Fighting for our right to smile again.
You gotta fight for your right to
I just loved to see how happy everybody looked.
And that right there is what drives Ochaco to become a hero, which brings us all the way back to the flashback at the beginning. She just wants everyone to be happy and to smile again, and she is fighting for those better days as she's defending Deku in this moment. And you can kind of see in this panel shot, she's getting a little bit emotional as she is just wiping her hand on her face, trying to keep her emotions in check. I always love seeing happy people.
Uraraka.
And we just see Deku with tears in his eyes looking up at Ochaco, and all he can say is, "Uraraka, if you want me to stand up here and reassure you, I'm sorry, I can't do that right now. That's because we're all gripped by that same fear and unease. We're all neighbors here, including him."
Listen.
And while she is yelling this, she is thinking to herself, "Seeing him in action, always desperate to save people, has given me so much to think about. When a hero is hurting, when heroes are hurting."
Deku's always been desperate to realize his dream, and it's true that his struggles have inspired me to work harder. But a simple dream can be hard to achieve. I've watched Deku fight desperately to help those in need, and it's made me wonder, who protects the heroes whenever they're the ones who are hurting the most?
And that right there brings us all the way back to Ochaco's line, "Who protects the heroes when they are the ones hurting the most?" And as she is thinking that line over, we got panel shots showing us Ida, Bakugo, and Deku, best genus next to present Mike, and we even got a panel shot showing us Aizawa sitting up in his hospital bed, and it looks like he is watching something on the iPad in front of him. I don't know why he is still being kept in the hospital, but it probably has to do with his amputated leg. And then outside of the UA barrier, we got Hawks, Shoto, and Endeavor listening in on Ochaco yelling at the crowd as we have this zoomed in shot on Endeavor's face.
Flashback.
And from there, it looks like we are diving into some more Ochaco backstory, where we can see the little adorable Ochaco just looking around at everyone's smiles as her dad is trying to point her to look over at the heroes, saying, "Where are your peepers pointing, Ochaco? The heroes are that-a-way." Yo, Eel Boy.
Look.
Yo, wait a minute. Is that the eel hero from the war arc?
Hello there.
Yo, it is him. This was the hero that got stabbed in the back of the head by Twice and was killed as Twice's final act in saving Toga and Mr. Compress.
I have you now.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Fatality.
Be damned.
I was honestly not expecting to see this hero again, so it's actually kind of nice to see him popping up within Ochaco's flashback right here. And this little moment kind of reinforces Ochaco's drive to want to become a hero because she loved seeing everyone in the crowd smiling, but once her dad told her to look over at the ill hero, who despite being bloodied and bruised, had a big old smile on his face and was reassuring Ochaco with his hands held high that he was fine and that everything was going to be alright.
Whoa, whoa, it's alright, everything will be alright. Whoa, whoa, it's alright, everything will be alright.
When heroes are hurting, the ones to protect them have to be, and that thought just trails off as we come out of the flashback and we go back to Ochaco yelling into the megaphone. Please, lend him your strength, so we have a shot at smiling together into the future.
You and me are so much alike.
Yo. And as Ochaco is saying this, she's beginning to think about Toga right now, and it's a moment during their last encounter when she realized that Toga was beginning to cry.
I've gotta push these feelings down. You gotta crush on someone great. So do I. And I bet you also want to be exactly like that special person, huh? I'll put these feelings away. I'll focus on working just as hard as he does. And reach my dream!
This is definitely a moment that has affected Ochaco a little bit, and it might be leading her to want to try to save Toga moving forward with what she's kind of saying right here. That could be the case, but one thing I do know is that when these two meet again, Ochaco will be handling Toga very differently than their last encounter, and I am looking forward to when that happens. And even with that brief thought of Toga on her mind, Ochaco does not skip a beat. What he needs is your help. Please, find it in your hearts to let him rest and recover together with all of us. And we just see the crowd go silent down below as they are listening to Ochaco. And we can just see Deku's mom continuing to cry, but she is just listening to every word that this girl is saying in defense of her son. And you know right now, Ochaco is winning major points with her future mother-in-law. Izuku Midoriya is trying to take on all the responsibility that comes with his power. But he's still got plenty to learn himself. He's just a regular high school kid. And then we got the All Might fanboy trying to say, yeah, but... And we just see Ochaco gritting her teeth, getting ready to yell back down at the All Might fanboy. And we have Ochaco yelling, this place is his.
Deku!
Wait. Was she about to yell, this place is his Hero Academia? I think that's what she's about to say. Because as she is yelling this, she is thinking back to the moment when she got accepted into UA.
That's me, the one who could be a mouse or a dog or a bear, though the only important thing is... I'm the principal!
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
This will be your Hero Academia. And upon hearing those words coming from Ochaco, Deku is just breaking down right now. We see him falling down to his knees, down to the ground, getting ready to cry with what he's hearing from Ochaco. And in this moment, he is flashing back and thinking about the moment when Ochaco saved him from tripping over his 2 feet as both of them were getting ready to take the UA entrance exam.
Or I'll just die.
Are you okay? I stopped you with my quirk. I'm sorry I didn't ask first.
It's a bad omen to trip and fall. And just like how Ochaco was there for him, saving him in that moment, she is here in the present, basically doing the exact same thing, but just saving Deku in a slightly different way. And I love getting to see how Ochaco looks like she is rising up as she is yelling this down to Deku, and then Deku is just falling down to his knees upon hearing these words from Ochaco. This is the story of how I became the greatest hero. Yup, that is exactly what she is yelling down to Deku. This place is his hero academy. Let him stay here.
The words I needed to hear.
Welcome, Izuku. You have made it. You're now part of the Hero Academia.
She's the one encouraging me. Again.
Yo, this full double-page spread looks absolutely amazing. Just seeing Deku falling down to his knees, overcome with emotion as the rain is pouring down, and the crowd is just looking on at Deku with the sad looks they have on their faces, seeing what they have put this kid through. Then you just see that tiny speck of Ochaco on top of the UA building, yelling this line down to Deku, which is honestly a great parallel to when Deku fell down to his knees when All Might said the words, "Young man, you too can become a hero."
Young man, you too can become a hero.
Identical.
It is a very similar situation, but instead of All Might, we have Ochaco stepping into that role and saying the words to Deku, "This is your Hero Academia. You don't have to leave. You belong here with us. So please, Deku, stay here at UA." This is just an amazing moment to get, and I absolutely love this double-page spread right here. And then we move on to a full-page panel shot, zooming in on Deku's face as he just unleashes the floodgates.
Okay. Just let it out. Have a good cry. Come on. Okay, that's enough.
We have not seen Deku cry like this in quite some time, but it makes sense because he has been bottling up all of his emotions this entire time since he left UA, and he's just been pushing himself forward through all of this. And now that his walls have finally been broken down, all Deku needs to do is have a good, long cry. And as we see Deku crying, we can see the Fox Lady moving through the crowd and is rushing over to Deku. And also,
I'm back, bitches!
yo! And right next to the All Might fanboy, we can see the old man, the 3-starred haired man from episode 1, chapter 1.
That means she might not be very useful.
What's that, fanboy? You taking notes over there? Want to be a hero too, huh?
Yes, more than anything.
Yo, it's nice to see this guy again. Very nice callback seeing him. And I'm wondering if he actually remembers saying those words to Deku, and that is the same kid crying in front of him in this moment. But then we go back to Nezu, who is thinking to himself, one step away. Try as it might, humanity struggles to make true progress. Ah, wait! Yo, and now we got Kota rushing in as well.
Called it.
I called this in last chapter. Though, going into next chapter, I think it would be really awesome to have our Fox Lady, Kota, Eri, and anyone else that Deku has saved over the course of the series step up and kind of return the favor and save Deku in this moment.
See, I did say that.
Very clever.
I wanted to see the 3 people that have been saved by Deku returning the favor and rush in to help him in this moment. And it seems like that's exactly what we're getting as we see the Fox Lady come rushing in, seeing Kota on the move, and now all I need to see is Eri come busting through the UA door with that Buster Sword in hand, and we will have come full circle with our 3 people that have been saved by Deku.
My hero.
And now we just see panel shots showing Kota go running through the crowd, and you can see that he is wearing the red shoes inspired by his hero Deku.
Do his shoes look familiar? Kota picked them out himself. He specifically asked for red. It's not what you think!
Awesome, we match.
Which shoes do you want? Those. Gotta be those. The red ones. The same ones worn by the kid that took down Muscular and became his hero.
Hey!
And we just see Kota and the Fox Lady arriving next to Deku with tears in their eyes, and they are going to be here helping him moving forward. The story of how we all became the greatest heroes.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that this is the story of how I became the world's greatest hero.
You what?
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
Bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Okay, so we're making a little bit of an amendment to that line from Deku, because it was stated a little bit earlier and it was reinforced. This was the story about how Deku became the greatest hero, but it looks like we're adding on to that by saying, and also the story of how we all became the greatest heroes. It's not just going to be one pillar holding up society, it's going to be a plethora, and Deku's friends are going to be backing him up moving forward, and they're going to help each other and work together to become the greatest heroes. That right there is the end of the chapter. Next chapter hits September 5th.
Trust me, Kota. It will happen. You'll meet someone. And then you'll understand why we do this. Someone who will risk their life. Someone who will be a hero. My hero.
Damn, Horikoshi. I don't know how he keeps doing it, but he just keeps delivering amazing chapter after amazing chapter. And this one right here was absolutely amazing. I loved everything that we got. And with it being a continuation of what we got with Ochaco in last chapter, this one just basically enhanced all of that. And it was all leading up to the moment with Ochaco yelling down to the crowd, as well as Deku, that Deku deserves to stay at UA because this is his hero, Academia. And upon hearing that, Deku just breaks down and begins to cry. Amazing moment right there. But now it kind of seems like the fight to get Deku back into UA is basically done, because I don't really see us getting too much pushback from the crowd moving forward now that Kota and Fox Lady will be backing Deku up. And hopefully, Eri will not be too far behind coming out of UA. But where do we go from here? What's going to be the game plan and strategy with Class A working alongside Deku, and what is going to be their next move moving forward? I'm curious to find out, but first things first. Now that Deku is back in UA, he needs to take a goddamn bath. So with that, guys, that right there is my live reaction to chapter 324 of My Hero Academia. But for now, I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on the events of this chapter. What was your favorite moment? Did you enjoy getting to see Ochaco sticking up for Deku these past two chapters? And then what do you guys think about that ending line from Deku stating, "This is a story how we all became the greatest heroes," and where will we be going in next chapter? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and feel free to subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon that you guys can be alerted for every new MHA reaction that pops up on the channel. But if you guys want to talk about other things or talk about MHA outside of YouTube, feel free to also follow me over on Twitter. A link to my Twitter account can also be found in the description down below. But that's going to do for me here, guys. So until next week, when we have chapter 325 of My Hero Academia, I'll talk to you guys next time. But remember, go beyond, plus Ultra!